What is telemetry data? Is it CNAP data, other data? Kind of fill me in on what your ideas were there.
Yeah, when we take a look at, I've been taking security awareness training myself forever, right? Because I was in the government and we've been taking, been mandatory taking videos for, I don't know, 25 years at this point, probably. And it doesn't work, and people speed through them, right? And they don't necessarily relate to real life, right? So I think when how can you get close to real life as possible? And what areas do you see that there's pretty good security in place, and where do you see that things can train well? Like where do you see those things and how do they work? Um, I take a look at, like, hey, every time I get on an airplane, I get the same security briefing. That security briefing shows me how to put my seatbelt on, tells me where the emergency exits are every single time, right? I get into an airplane to get the same security briefing. Yeah, the dynamics are higher. You could crash and die if you don't follow them. But at the end of the day, it's repetitive, it's repetitive, it's repetitive. And people really, know if you've taken an airplane, 10 times, like you pretty much got it memorized what they're going to say and how to do it. And I also take a look at, like, hey, I've got dogs, and when I train my dogs, if I need them to do something, I need to give them immediate feedback, either positive or negative immediate feedback when they do it. If I don't, then I'm wasting my time. And I think with humans, we also need the same thing. We need immediate feedback, and we need repetitive information. But we only need the repetitive information based on the mistakes that we make. So I think that as we start to rethink how to do security awareness in a way that could actually provide an impact, is more specific. So we've got a ton of security tools, right? CNAP is one of them, right? But we've got antivirus, we've got telemetry information on our laptop. We've got telemetry being like, what websites am I going to? What servers am I logging into? Am I downloading things I shouldn't? Am I using a secrets management tool? Like, what are all of these actions that I'm doing on a daily basis? Which of these actions are good? Which actions of these are increasing risk and potentially bad? And when I'm doing good things, like when I'm using my secrets management tool, then I think it would be great that we told users, hey, this is fantastic. You're helping reduce the risk for your organization. And you need to let them know when they're doing that. You need to let them know, either when they do it, let them know on a weekly or monthly basis, that, like, hey, you're doing a great job. You're in the top 1% of the company and keeping us secure, doing a great job. And then the people that are not using it should be the same way. Like, hey, we know that you're copying, pasting passwords and using the same 4-digit password on 1,000 things. Like, you're putting yourself at risk, and you're putting your company, and you're putting your money at risk, and you're putting a lot of things at risk. And provide details on how a better way to do it with a link, as it's happening. So I think that just when I take a look at things that potentially help behavior, these positive reinforcements, and the negative reinforcements, we need to figure out how to use them together, based on the data that we already have in our CNAP tools, in our secrets management tools. Who's taking the videos and takes them in 30 seconds, and who takes them in 5 minutes? Who takes the test at the end of your security awareness training and fails it? Who gets 100 on it every time? I think each one of these things is a signal, right? And we need to, if we can bring a lot of these signals together and then provide feedback to the users based on the signals that they're providing, both positive and negative, I think that it encourages the more secure choices to be made, and doesn't make the more secure choices seem hard or painful. Right? We should make them easy, and help people do their jobs more efficiently than make security be like traditionally hard. Like, like, I don't, even me, when it's that time of the year where I have to take another security video. I'm a CISO. I've been one for 30 years. I'm still like, damn, I got to take another one of these videos. All right, let me go do it. Right. And everybody feels that way. Right. So how can we change that feeling and make it not like, oh, a video you take one time, but just real feedback based on how you do your work every single day. I think if we can figure out how to get there, it makes it much more effective. We don't have to worry about silly phishing exercises. We don't have to worry about watching a video once a quarter or once a year, right? And we can we can still use those videos, right? If we can get a short video and say like, hey, you copied and pasted your password from a thing into here. Like, here's a little video of, or here's this day and age, we don't even need a fake video. We can say like, hey, here's an article based on how this company was compromised and based on what your action was that could put us there, right? Like, make it real. Like, bring real world events in based on users' actions and make them read it, and then that people will acknowledge it. Like, oh wow, like yes, this is I shouldn't do this. Oh, and that's all I have to do is click twice to get this. Oh, and then it will automatically change my passwords for me. Oh, and then it will I can log into log into places easier by using my fingerprint on my laptop. Like, there's all these things that can actually make life a little bit easier and incredibly more secure than copying and pasting a 4-digit password. I mean, it's obviously an easy example to use that's horrible. But I do think that we have to figure out how to move into that type of mindset rather than this old mindset of just thinking like, hey, just watch a video and the ability to secure humans is impossible. Nothing's impossible, right? Like, we just have to really really think about the root of the cause and stop treating the symptoms, right? And stop trying to be compliant. Let's focus on being secure as opposed to being compliant and taking our video once a year just so that we can pass our compliance mandate.